Hi everybody, it's Rendds. Today I'm joined by a very special guest, a grey young man. This is actually the ball jointed doll that I've been sculpting for the past year and a half. And over the process, in the course of his creation, I've been taking little snapshots and videos of what he looked like from beginning to end, because I know it's really interesting to me to see how art evolves in that way. He is a 1/3 scale, 62 centimeter, SD13 size ball jointed doll. Yeah, his name is River, and he is a very handsome young man. He's my firstborn son, as I like to say. He has very wrinkly little hands and veiny hands and arms, and it's just been kind of adventure making him, and crying, and blood, and sweat, and tears. But I hope you guys will enjoy it with me, because it's kind of fascinating. He's actually going off with the casters on Monday to be casted in resin, which is very exciting. He's going to be cast in environmental resin, and it's going to be great. He's going to be going up for pre-order soon, so if you're interested, drop me a line. But anyways, without further ado, enjoy the little process video. I started crafting River in January of 2018. I began taking a sculpting class and we're making busts of our heads, and I had this bright idea. I'm going to make myself a tiny boyfriend, and that's where this whole adventure started. He was actually made out of, the pottery clay, the one you put into a kiln and bake, but I had recently bought some paper clay that I had read is really good to make dolls out of, so this is what he was made of, first of all. I really enjoyed using paper clay as a base because it allowed me a lot of flexibility and it sands very smooth, but in the end it was very hard to work with because, as you can see, when you get it wet, it tends to disintegrate. And I quickly tried to move on to other materials like epoxy clay, which you'll see in a little bit. But yeah, I was sanding a lot with the paper clay and I was choking and coughing, and I realized, no, I probably shouldn't make a whole doll out of this because it's going to kill me. But I did end up using it as a base for most of it. One thing I also really wanted to do was take little progress shots because I really enjoy seeing how my paintings come to life, and I had never sculpted a face before, so I was very interested in seeing how he changed over the next couple months. You see I used a lot of different kinds of epoxy sculpt. This greenish yellow one is milliput. It's like a 2-part one. There's lots of different kinds of epoxy sculpts, and they're very useful. You can just see the strange faces he makes. Oh my gosh, and those ears are very strange. He kind of goes from, what's wrong with your lips, to, you're kind of cute, to, okay, not bad. And then he's kind of cute. I wish I could find those eyeballs. I can't find them anymore. And lots of priming. And this was my first, I'm almost done. This is River in, I think, July of 2018. I was like, oh, I'm all done, everyone. Let's do casting. And here's a blank photo of him. And I changed my mind. We were not done because that head, cap system, that head faceplate thing, that ain't working out. And then more paper clay, and I'm starting to build up a body. Inside is a foam core wrapped in cling wrap. This is so that the foam core won't stick to the clay and you can get it out pretty easily. And I really liked it as a base, as I said, but it's also very, very fragile. Here's his body next to my dollzone's body. And he often came to school with me because I was like, I love you, friend. You are coming with me everywhere. Here's an updated shot of his things, and there is just silly times with me and my boy. Yeah, he's kind of an interesting little folk. You can see he goes from having no definition to having a lot of definition. And here's some eyes that I had made for him. Then I was like, I really want to see what he'd look like in his skin tone, so I ended up doing some really light coats of paints and doing a little face up. And I started crafting his hands and his feet out of polymer clay, which is very, I'd advise it to use it, but you gotta be careful because it's very fragile. You end up breaking a lot. You see the little fingers, I end up super gluing them because they keep falling off. because I would touch them the wrong way and they would cry and just break. A big issue I had with River is he would just break, and little K-pop finger hearts. I ended up making the hands a bit too big a couple times, so in the end I ended up not being able to keep the finger hearts. So I'll probably have to try to resculpt them. A lot of the times I would use just a Sharpie marker just to make out little designs where I would need to trim or add onto the clay. And the assortment of body parts, little chicken legs. Oh, so cute. And here's a comparison between my body and my doll's own body, and just more priming. Here's on my counter. Looking almost like a full doll, and my deck got so dirty because I kept sanding and sanding and sanding. It'd be so cold outside. It'd be snowing and I'd be sanding River. Oh, but yeah, it just keeps going. And then I broke all my fingers because I realized they were way too long. And then that cloud of dust. I was wearing my mask a lot of the time. Thank you. And then I decided to buy a big epoxy sculpt with foot. And here's my first time trying to string him up. I didn't get a full stringing because I only had his arms done at this point. It was around November of 2018. But I was so excited. It was my first stringing of River. He looked like a real boy. Oh, Mr. Pinocchio, so cute. He also kind of looks a bit like a little cow because I had a white primer and black epoxy sculpt and gray primer because I couldn't make my mind up as to which kind of primer I wanted to use. Then he became a white boy. And me and my little ghost boy. And this is around December 2018 when I was like, he's so close. And I realized I hated the way I had sculpted his knee joints. They were not doing well. So I ended up having to resculpt them. And I realized his face looked strange. But yeah, he looks okay from now. It was just a bit of adding and subtracting and adding more. I realized you took too much away. It's a lot of give and take with these things, and then a lot of sanding. And some little detail shots of his baby hands. And this is actually my JE head, my distant memory JE head on the body. Don't know where River was at the moment. And this is my switch head, which is my old Maya's form, my old doll's form. Are you guys looking a bit better? And my gray son. Oh, so gray. And this is him with his big head, and then I got some very nice advice saying his head looks a little big, so I ended up shaving the sides down. And this is him being able to do the leg thing, where he curls up on his leggies. Oh, he's such a cute little boy. Hiya, River. And Frosted Flakes. And sorry, that's me. And then I was like, oh, River's done. And then I realized I didn't like his face at all, so I actually sat with my grandma and she gave me some tips as to how to make River not as ugly. And now here he is, my unsanded child. He looks very rough. This is where he was the whole time. Just sitting there being, mother, please, finish me. I had to remake his head cap because it didn't look right. And drilling, and I have cool hazmat suit. And there's River. Oh, hi, baby. And hello, my dear. Hello, you. And Easter time, this is like April of 2019. I took lots of on and off breaks because he was a pain to get through. And here are all 3 of my babies. Look at him. River ended up being a lot taller than I was expecting him to be. But in the end, I think I learned a lot. And I'm excited to be able to share him with the world in non-gray skin tone. I mean, if you like gray skin tone, that's for you. Not really what I'm going for River. But here's my dear before he goes off to casting. Thank you guys so much for being on this journey with me. And I will update you guys when he comes back as a resin sample. Hey, thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.